Hi guys, it's Katie here again from BellaCreativa, and I'm here to do another page in the Broderie SVG Mini Album that we have been creating. So we have been using these Broderie SVG files, which you can find in my Etsy store if you're interested, and I'll put a link in the description box below. So SVG files are scalable vector graphic files that you can use on electronic cutting machines like a Cricut, a Silhouette, a Brothers Scan and Cut, those kinds of machines. I use a Cricut and it's fabulous for these. So we have been making this album. Let's just get started, shall we? We've been making this album. It's 7 inches by 7 inches with a 3-inch spine, and this is the size of the album that you can make with the SVG files if you made no changes to them. But you can make them bigger and you can make them smaller. And the thing about the Broderie ones is that I've already made this album on camera, and this is using the same set of SVG files, but this is a very feminine, lacy album, and you can see that it has lots of these little lacy edges, which is why I've called this set of files Broderie. But now we're making this album using the same files, but this one has no lacy edges whatsoever, and I stuck with a really neutral palette, and we're just about done. We have got the last 2 pages to do, page 11 and 12 of this 6-page album. So let's get started. So I'll go through here and show you the pieces that I have cut out using my Cricut and these SVG files. I'm using this paper collection is a 6.5-inch paper pad, and it's by Craft and it's called Whisper, and I can't find the sheet that I usually show you at the beginning because I'm surrounded by stuff on my desk everywhere, but I can't lay my hands on it. Anyway, it's very neutral, as you can see. So that's what I'm using, and then I'm using Recollection 65-pound cardstock for the pages themselves. Right, so I will show you which pieces I've cut out already, and then we'll just get going. Oops, I've got a little bundle of things that I've already cut out here. So I always start off by cutting out my C2 base page mat, and that's this one here that I've cut out of the scrapbook paper. So my Cricut's already cut it out for me, and I've just inked around the edges, and that one's all ready to go. So the blue pieces are the actual elements themselves, and the pink pieces are the mats for those, and I've given everything in alphanumeric number just to make it easier to refer to, so hopefully I'm being clear about which pieces I've used. Excuse me. So that's one piece there, the C2. Then the next pieces that I've cut out are these F2 pockets, and I have cut out 2 of those, and that's these ones here. And then I have cut out 1, 2, 3, 4 of the mats for those, which is F8, so I've cut out 4 of those. And this isn't actually from the scrapbook paper. I'm also using an old atlas, I should say, to mat some of the pages. I just found it in an op shop, and the paper feels nice, and I like the way the Latin long is on there and everything's in columns. I think it looks kind of cool, and I thought it went well with what I was doing. So 2 F2s out of the cardstock and 4 F8s out of whatever it is that I'm matting with. Then I have also cut out 1, 2, 3, 4 of the F5 pieces. That's these ones here, these little skin pockets. And then I've cut out the corresponding mats for those, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those, so 6 of the F11s. And then I have cut out one of these. I cut these out a while ago, so that's why I'm as surprised as you are by what I've cut out. Lucky I write the name of everything on here so I know what it is. So I can flip over here and I can tell you that I've cut out one G2 pocket, and then I have cut out 2 of the G5 mats, which are those 2 there. And then finally I have cut out one J3 belly band, which is this one here, and the J12 mat that goes on top of that, and that's this one here. So we can start putting this little page together. So I'll put away this book, we don't need that anymore. I will get out my shelf protector that I just use as a craft mat. It's looking quite manky, might be time for a new one. I clean it, but it's, anyway, at least it's not shiny now. It's not quite so reflective. Okay, so we need to do a couple of things here. Just put this aside. So that's my C2 mat and then my G2 mats. So this G2 piece here, oh, there's some more mats. This G2 piece here, it's a pocket, but today I'm going to use it as a flip. So I just need to cut off these 2 tabs on this side here and this side here. And I've put crosses on those to remind me that they're the bits that I'm going to cut off, because I frequently cut the wrong pieces off, which I did in the last video. So we're going to cut those off, and then I'll put these mats to the side. We have a look at these F5 pieces. 2 of these we're going to keep as pockets as they are, so they can go to the side. We don't need to do anything to those. And these 2 we're going to use as flips instead of pockets, so we're going to cut off these 2 short tabs on each side. So I'll put those aside to trim those off. And then these 2 pieces, these are the F2 pieces. We're going to cut off the long tab off the bottom of each of those, and the short tab off one side of each of those. Right, so we can do that. So I'm just going to get out my cutting board and trim those little tabs off. So my Cricut's already cut this out for me, and it's put the score lines in. So if I want to cut off that tab, all I'm going to do is line up that score line and trim it off, and that just becomes rubbish. So this is the only cutting that I have to do. I don't have to measure anything, or cut anything, or score anything. My cutting machine has already done all of that for me using these SVG cuts. So it makes it super easy to make an album with these pieces. And the reason I've left these tabs on is so that you can use the pieces for different purposes. So this was a pocket, but if I just cut these 2 little tabs off, then it becomes a flip, no problem. And so might be just about time to replace this blade. Try to make it last for as long as I can. So that's that one, and then this one here, these 2 tabs down the side. And this one. Okay, that's that. Let's put that down there, try and not make such a noise with it. So I'm just going to round my corners. I think they tend to last a bit longer. I didn't trim that very well across there. Never mind. I think yeah, they last a bit longer if they don't become quite so dog-eared if I round them. But that's, you know, up to you. Or you could do a fancy corner punch or whatever you want. For some reason I won't trim that. There must be something, there's something stuck in there. Bit of glue or something. Let me see if I can figure that out. Should work now. This is what you get when you buy something cheap from AliExpress, I guess. It's been working pretty well though. Not sure if I want to round those, so I'm just going to leave those for the moment and we shall see. Okay, so I'll just get rid of all of that. And let's just have a look at the page size that we're doing, switch side, because it helps. Okay, so we're doing the right opening or right facing page. And I just like to know that because my preference is if I have something opening from the page, I like to have it open away from the spine. It's just my preference. But in this instance, we're going to have things opening both ways. So I want to have this little guy here, and I really have done a bad job of trimming that up. Where are my scissors? I'll make it worse by trying to cut it with scissors. Not my strong point. That's one of the reasons I made some SVG files, because my cutting in a straight line skills aren't great. So I'm thinking I might have this one opening out that way, and then these little guys are going to be little envelopes, and I might have them opening out that way. I think yeah, let's just do it. One thing I do really want to do though is find my distressing tool and just ink around those edges where I've trimmed off those tabs. I've done it all the way through this album, so I best keep going now. Of course, you don't have to ink, it's entirely up to you. I would really like to make an album with black cardstock, and then you don't have to ink it. But I know it can be a little bit hard to see on camera. So, my other choice is the craft. I like the white cardstock, but you know, I put my fingers all over it. It never looks white by the time I finished with it. Right. So as I was saying, this album is a 7" by 7" album with a 3" spine, but you can make them bigger and you can make them smaller. That's one of the other beauties of SVG files. So I have done a video on how I work with the SVG files, and it's in my Broderie playlist, and I shall try and remember to put a link there for you. That one. I think that's it. So I'll hold it to the side and get my glue out. So I'm using this Tiger Grip by Helmer. So I really like this for sticking my cardstock pieces together, but it's quite expensive. So I've started thinking that I should just use this Crafter's Choice craft glue for putting my mats on. So that's my plan. This one here I've actually just put in a little bottle. So hopefully I don't waste quite so much. I don't think that's the case at all, but I try. Okay, so I'm going to use this one here. Just put a bit on that tab. So this is the G2 piece, and I'm just going to pop that down on here and line it up and make sure I'm happy with where it's sitting. Down. I use my little rag a lot because I make a mess. Okay, so that little guy is going to open out that way, but on the front of that I want to have these little envelopes. So I'm going to have one here and one here. I didn't ink that one, I knew I was missing a piece. I'm going to go there and there like so. Maybe we'll build them and then put them in the album. So let's just move this to the side for a second. And I'll finish inking this one here that I missed. I do try to do as much inking as I can off camera. I apologise. This is just where those tabs have been trimmed. So, just going to have these little flip out envelopes. And these are the last couple of pages of this album, which is exciting. And just do some bits and pieces on the inside covers, and then embellish it. Oh, do some inserts and tags and embellish it. And I'm thinking I'm going to not go quite so crazy with the embellishing, she says. Okay. Right, so I have 4 of these. So these are my F2 pieces, and they're going to be the back of our envelopes. And I have 4, so I have 2 of those, and I have 4 of the mats to go on those. So I'll put one on the inside and one on the outside of both of those. So let's do that. Let's get the goobers off there. Come on, glue. There we go. I either put on too much glue or not enough. There never seems to be a happy medium with me. Okay, so I'm going to pop that one on there so we have the mat on the inside. And the same with this one. Come on. Come on. And this one doesn't want to play. Pop that one on the inside. Much better than trying to slide it in afterwards. Okay, so then we have these F5 pieces, and these are the ones that we haven't done anything to, so they're still complete pockets, and I'll pop those down on here like so. So I may as well do that now. So, no, see, I'm going to forget. I'm going to use this glue for that. I feel like this glue is a bit stronger, which may be better for the construction. So I'm just going to pop that one on here. Get the glue off my fingers. And a bit of a wipe because I've managed to get glue everywhere. Right, and then the ones that we've cut the side tabs off and rounded the edges are just our little top flips for these little envelopes now. I'm not going to go on the back like so, so let's do that. And just line that little guy up there. Make sure we're happy with that. And I think I wanted to come across a touch. There we go. Cute. One little envelope, and then we can do the next one just in the same way. Let's put you to the side and put some glue on this little pocket here. I've really enjoyed making this album. I've quite enjoyed using a neutral palette. Something different. I love using the craft cardstock as well. Although I'm a bit tired, as I was saying, of inking everything. Oh well. Okay, and then we can put a little F5 piece on here. I'm just going to line that one up, close it up, make sure I'm happy with where it's sitting. I feel like it could come across a little bit. That seems pretty good. Make sure that's well stuck down on the back there. Okay, so now that we've got this little bit here stuck on, a bit of glue coming through there. We could put the mats on the back of these guys. Sorry, my protector keeps moving. It's really warm and it's sticking to me, sticking to my arms. Okay, I was using this glue for that. Oh, this is going to come undone pretty quickly, isn't it? This glue for this and this glue for that. It really just comes down to cost. I'll just pop that on there, like so. Nice and neat. And the same on the back here. And pop that one on there. I really like looking at all the city and town and place names when I'm looking at this little index. So there's here Pickering Brook. Well, I used to live just around the corner from Pickering Brook, so how about that? And then Picnic Point. I think that might be in New South Wales. Okay, anyway. So these little guys just, they need some closures, and I think I might just do the normal little, well, I was going to do the ones with the circles and the brads, but I didn't get my brads out, but never mind, I can do that. So I'm just going to get my little circle punch. This is a Fiskus circle punch, and I'm thinking probably about oops, half an inch maybe. They're quite small. So I'm going to need 4 for each of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, well done. Okay. So I'll pop those to the side. So we're going to stick 2 of each of these together. So I'll just go ahead and do that. Okay, so I have joined those little circles together so they're a bit stronger. I have some string. I went and found some brads to use, and I've been using these really bright shiny ones, which I wouldn't normally do, but some of the paper in this paper line has got this shiny on it, and I can't really tell. I feel like it might be rose gold, and this actually matches quite well, so that's good because I've had these for years. And I need my sticky tape, and I like to use my little leather punch for this job, so I'm going to attempt to find the middle of the circle, which, you know, can be a bit dodgy at the best of times, but we try. And then I'm going to try and put a hole through all 4 at once, which should also be humorous, but there we go. I think I did it. It's not centered, but oh well. Okay, so now I'm trying to separate them and bring my little envelopes in. Okay, so we're going to use these as our fasteners. Move my little envelope back. I need to put the mat on the top of these and the bottom of these before I carry on. So I was thinking I would like to have the butterflies on top, so I'm just going to have to round these ledges too. 1 and 2. And then we can pop those straight on. I'll just, whoops, got a bit carried away there with my inking. And then we'll just just glue these little mats on top. Probably could have done that before I did the little closures, but I'm not thinking tonight. Okay, so I'm going to pop this one on top of here. Little shiny butterflies. And the same with this one. Like so. Pop that guy down. And I need the mats for here. So I have choices. I can have this one. Butterfingers, like that. Or this one, like that. Yeah, it's got to be this one. Okay, so put that mat on here. Cluey. And the same with this one. Cute little guys, these little envelopes. Hoping that we can get 2 pages done today, and that'll be the end of the pages for this album. Okay, so now before we put the mats on here, we want to put our brads in. So I need to roughly know the centre, because if I try to guess it, I will get it wrong. So these are about 4.5 inches wide, which is roughly 11.5 centimetres. If we go 4.5, then we need 2.25 would be about, I can't see because of the glare, about here, about here. Ugh, what a mess. I've got glue everywhere. What did I say? Okay, so about here, and then we want the same down the bottom here. And I don't think that's centered. It'll do. And then let's say 1.5 centimetres from the bottom, so about there. Now, my punch is not going to be able to get in there, and so I'm just going to find my awl here. My ancient awl. It was my grandmother's. I don't know how long she had it for before I inherited it. So we're just going to put brad through that little centerpiece and put the brad through here. And I should have done this before I sealed it up. Really would have made much more sense. And then close those little prongs. Try to anyway, they're really long prongs. There we go. If I can get a bit of tape in there, I'm not going to try. I think it'll be okay. Alright, and then this one here, we can actually use my little punch. And I can't see my mark at all. I think, gee, that looks really busy, doesn't it? There we go. Okay, so let's put a hole in here. I think that's where I could see it. It is now. Let's line these two up and draw that hole. So at least they might be the same. And then we need to do this bottom one here as well. through or stab myself. Put these super long prong brads in and bend that over. And just spin it around because they're facing the wrong way. Okay, so you should do this before you attach the pocket. And I have done it in other videos, so I have no idea why I didn't do it properly in this video. Okay, so that's not centered at all, but let it go. Let it go. Okay, so we need a bit of string. Probably could do with about half of that. I'm going to poke that in here. I should have made one of these before we started so that you didn't have to watch me make two. I apologise. It's been a few days since I've recorded, and it's amazing how you can get so out of practice. Okay, and then we stick this little guy through, oops, got glue all over my fingers, it's not helping me, through there and through here. It's a bit fiddly. I do love a little envelope, it has to be said. And then, I think it goes that way up. We can put this mat on, and this little guy's done. Right. Put that mat on there, covering up that brad, making sure it's stuck down properly. And that is that one done. So then we can just do another one. So, I think that's cute. I really like the butterflies. Okay, so that's one, and then we'll just do the same with this little guy. So we'll just thread this through. Try and thread it through. Try the other end instead. There we go. Bit of sticky tape to hold it down. Stick that down. My little circles and my brad through the hole. Brad prongs. Look how long they are. Super long. Get the mat ready. Just round those edges, corners. I say edges, but they're definitely corners. I guess they're edges as well, technically. And pop that one down. Covers up those brads. Make sure it's done nicely. Cute. And that's that one done. I'll just do that way up. Try to, anyway. There we go. Alright, so we have our two little envelopes and they are ready to go on our page. So we'll bring our album back. And we can pop them on, so they should fit on here perfectly, like so, and they do. So let's flip that guy up now. I don't suppose it matters which one goes at the top. Oops, oh, got a bit excited with the glue there. And so I'm just going to line this up on the edge. up and make sure it's lined up at the top okay. It looks pretty good to me. Flip it over, make sure I'm happy with that. And so then he'll flip out like so. Cute. And then we can do the same with this one. Get overexcited with the glue again. Line it up on the edge and along the bottom. Make sure I'm happy with where it's sitting. Wipe up all the excess glue because I always put too much glue on. Oh, don't they look cute? Look at the top side of that. Lovely. Okay. So now we can just do the matting. So I'm just going to use this mat for my base page here. So we can just pop that down. And this page is just we just need to mat it now, really. And it's done. I don't think there's a direction to this piece of paper, to the design on it. Put that one down. Now, I had a little belly band. I was actually thinking about putting it this way for a change, something different. And I reckon we could probably just guesstimate it based on where these are, thinking that they must be about halfway. So I'm just going to, so this belly band is our J3 piece, and I'm just going to put it straight on top like this. Why does it suddenly look like it's stretched? Okay, let's make sure that folds up okay. Yep. On my bone folder, this bone folder has really seen better days. Might be time for a new one. Let's make sure that's really well stuck down. It's got a bit of a, bow to it, which I don't know what I've done to it to do that. That should be fine. And then we have the mat for that, so I think that might have been, it's a J piece, but I just can't remember which one it was, but we've already been through that. And it's not hard to see when you look at the SVG files. Pop that little guy down there, so now we've got a nice spot under there for a photo mat or whatever we want to do. It's just a bit different than going up and down the page, which I'm sure I've already done here at least once before. This page? No, that's got a corner pocket. That one, no. Oh, so we've gone up and down the page on this one. So something different. Okay, and then we just need to mat these two. So we've rounded the corners, so I think we should round the corners here. Pop this mat down. Like so. And put this one here. Move it over a little bit. So I need to round these corners. And glue her on. Now, if we're worried that these guys aren't going to lay down flat, we can always put a Velcro on there. I'm going to wait and see though, because they might be okay. They look okay. So those little guys open out and that opens out. So we've got plenty of opportunities here. We could put a little tuck spot in there, or, you know, if you're doing it, you might want to put a corner pocket on there or a bottom pocket. You know, you can do anything you like. But for now, I'm just going to leave it like that and go on to my next page. So I have cut out some pieces already. So let's have a look at what I've already cut out and see if I can remember what I was going to do. These pieces. Okay, so as always, we start with our base page mat, C2, and so I've chosen that one, I believe, which is what I've got on the front of my album. I think that's really pretty. And then, what pieces do we have here? We have, I think this is a D2, yeah, so I've cut out one of these D2s, which is this one here, and two of the mats that go on that one, and that is D5. So one D2, two D5s, and then we have this pocket here, D3. We have 3 of those. 1, 2, 3, and then we have 6 of the D6 mats. So that's those here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So those, and then lastly we have this little guy here, which is the F5 pocket there, and one of the F11 mats right there. So we've got everything we need for that last page. I can pop this away somewhere. Where can I put it? Clear a little bit space to start this page. And so this little guy is going to be a pocket, and he's going to stay like that. So I think we'll just eliminate this little mat from escaping by sticking it down right now. Yes, I hesitated for a minute then. Right. So I thought about my page layout a few weeks ago, well no, a week or so ago, and cut out all the pieces, but now I'm struggling to remember what I was going to do with them all. I do draw a little picture, but I can't even decipher my little picture. Look. I don't know what I was thinking when I drew that. I obviously thought I knew what I was doing. Okay, D3. We have 3 of those, and we're going to use them as flips. I know that I want to have one coming up from the bottom. I think I'm going to cut off the side tabs on all 3 of these. So let's mark those and hope that that's what I had in mind. Okay. And then the D2, I'm going to flip it from this long tab here. So we're going to cut off those 3. So let me put this aside, get a cutting board, and start trimming these little tabs off. Try and get the glue off my finger at the same time. So, what was my idea? I want these guys to flip out from the side. Let's have a look at the page for a minute. What was my thought process was that I wanted to have this guy here come from this side, and then we're going to put that little, where did I put it? This little pocket is going to go sideways like that, and so that's D3. Yep, that's okay. All right, I'm happy. Let's keep going. So I'm going to cut off the short tabs on all 3 of these D2s. And that one. That one. Same with this one. So I will cut off the tabs of all these pieces, and then I'm going to round the corners, and I'm going to ink around the edges. So I think I can do that and then come back and we can put the page together. I think I could probably even put the mats on, because there's not much to putting the mats on. I've already shown you which mats to cut out for which pieces, so I'll go ahead and round my corners, ink up all the pieces and put the mats on everything, and then I'll come back and we'll put the page together. All right, thanks, see you soon. Okay, so I have rounded the edges on everything, matted it, inked it, and we can just put it all in on our page now. So yay, last page. So my plan, I think, was to take this D2 piece and pop it on this side here like so. So let's do it. Yeah, I think that's my plan. Right, so I'm just going to put a little glue on that tab and fight my pedantic nature to find the center and just sort of eyeball it. And I reckon that's not bad. I'll just wipe that glue off the edge a bit there. Make sure it's stuck down, lined up, and that piece is on. I'm just going to give it a burnish because I really want to make sure that that doesn't start flapping around, which means I probably squish glue out the edge. No, it's okay. I need to stick that down a little bit, but I'll worry about that later. Okay, and then I've got this piece here, which is the D3, and I'm going to pop that down on this side like so. So let's do that. And I love these little foil pages. I'm just going to line that up, stick it down along there. I'm just going to lift that up so I can make sure that that really is, yeah, that looks pretty good. Oops, got a bit of glue on that mat. Okay, then these two, I was thinking one would come from the bottom and one would come from the top, like so. So let's do that. Again, I'm going to find my nature to find the center, and I'm just going to eyeball it. So much pressure. I don't think that's the center, but it's not far off. I'm just going to lift it up, make sure it's miles off at the top because I can't see it. Sorry to do this. There, that one. Okay, if I'm happy with that, then I just have to line this one up with that one. So glue on that tab, and then I'm just going to line this one up at the bottom and slide it over to be in line with that one. I think this is what my plan was for this page. Who can say? Okay, so then we can put our, it's not very stuck down there. I'm just going to pop a little bit more glue on the top there. See, it's either too much or not enough. It's okay, it's going to be covered up anyway. Right, so now we can put our C2 matte on. I'm using the wrong glue. Here we go. Right. And pop that little guy down there. I went close enough to the edge of that glue. I might have to come back later and fix that up, but if I do it on camera, you can bet I'll make an absolute mess. Okay, so then that folds up like that, that folds up like that. This one comes in, and then this one comes in, and then this little pocket here, I want to put right here, so then we can put a tag, a pocket, something in this pocket here to hold this down, and then that might hopefully sort of lock everything in. Well, seems like a good idea. We'll see. So, I'm going to line this up. I think I'll line it up with the edge, like so. What have I done with my bone folder? Can anyone see it? Found it. So then, if we had a tab, here we go. Let's go with, well, either of these might work. If I put this in here, I was thinking it would sort of lock the page off like that. Yeah, I think that would work. So this is obviously not the one, we need to make one for this album, but that's the idea. So that's the last 2 pages of our album done. So in the next video, let's have a quick flick through. So we need to do the inside covers because they're looking a bit naked, so we might do that in the next video. And then we need to do some inserts and tags and things to go in here. So we need to make one definitely for here because that opens out like so. Oh, I forgot about that page altogether. How does that go? Like that. And then these guys open out, and we've got a pocket here, so we definitely need something for there. I love this. We don't need anything really for there, that's just a really nice little door. And then we don't really need anything here. We could decide to put a pocket or something on here. No, I don't know. But we have that one. Lots of space there. Then we have this one, big pocket here. Cute. And then this one and this one locks in like so. I like that page. I like how we've come up with some ways of keeping the pages closed that doesn't necessarily rely on lots of magnets and things like that. This one's another one that opens up, and that's really just been done by utilising this little pocket and locking things in with that little pocket. Then we have this one, which I just untied before, so we've got a pocket here and here, lots of space for photos here, and then we can put something here, and of course we can do some tuck spots and and not everything has to be a pocket. And so that ties up. And then we have these little pockets. Oh, this was the page that drove me crazy because I cut the wrong tag off, and then I cut the wrong side tab off, and that made everything different. But yeah, who would know? That's okay. We'll make it look alright. And then these guys that we did today. I like that page. And this last one that we just did opens out like so. So I like these flips and flaps that open out and gives lots of space to put in photos. Alright, so we need to come back and do the inside covers and some inserts and tags, and we're pretty much done. So thanks very much for joining me today. We've just about finished this album. If you're interested in the kind of things that we can make using these SVG files, it's called the Broderie Mini Album SVG files. You can find them in my Etsy store. Link will be in the description box. I hope you guys come back and see the rest of this album being made. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you guys again soon. Thank you. Bye.